So autumn is our really productive time of year. So we're in the early stages. It's finally starting to cool down. Rozzie's been very productive out the front here, planting snow peas on little handmade trellises. But let's talk about what we've been doing in the last 2 weeks in this wonderful COVID isolation time. G'day folks, Andy here from McDowell Manor. Cut the smallest pineapple in the world. You can see there wasn't a lot left. Rozzie's had a bite. What did you think, Rozzie?
Oh my God, it's so sweet. It's wonderful.
It is good. It is very good. So there's the top. I've put that in a little bit of water. I'm going to try and get that to sprout roots, and I'll put that back in the proper garden bed. Hopefully we'll get a full size one. So I've finally got a few cherry tomatoes coming in. It's about to be tomato time over here. So that's good. Expecting a heck of a lot more in the near future. I've actually ordered a pressure canner, which hopefully will be good. Chilies are in. I leave them out to dry and then powder them. Madagascar beans back in production. But the big excitement, have a look at the size of that tromboncino zucchini. There's my hand, just to give you, and my arm, just to give you an idea. It's a whopper. I've got 2 more of them coming up. The old one that this came off is dead now, so I'll pull it out. And I've got 2 more replacements. It's a ripper in terms of food stocks. We use a lot of it. Now, the other COVID observation I'd like to share with you. Long-term viewers know that I make all my own alcohol. I make both spirits and beers, and liqueurs and the odd wine. Now, you'd assume that we would be safe in a COVID outbreak because we don't have to worry about, the beer shops running out or anything. And they did limit the amount of alcohol you could buy over here because originally people had a bit of a run on it. But in fact, the brew shop makers had a big run as well. Everybody thought, well, if I can't buy it, I'll make my own. So they all flocked to the brew barns and bought everything. That was a bit of a shock. It became hard to get sugar. Now I use at least 6 kilos of sugar every time I make a spirit wash. So yeah, we did get hit as well as everybody else. If it got really bad, I would have stockpiled sugar and stuff like that. Would have got me through a good couple of months longer than everybody else. But it's worth, just an observation. Nobody's safe. Those who might be wondering what's in one of these canned beer making kits, once you take the lid off, underneath that is a sachet of yeast. So that's a particular beer yeast, a particular variety of beer yeast. It gives the, this is a draft kit. So it'll give the draft flavour. This is really just malt. So essentially what you're buying is a tin of malt and some brewing yeast. This here they call Brew Enhancer 2. It's really just a dextrose or a sugar mix. And they've got a few different varieties. This one's supposed to increase the flavour, mouthfeel and head retention. I tend to use whichever brew enhancer they recommend on the tin. That way you get closer to the flavour that it's intended to have. But you just pour all this, you pour the malt in first with some fairly hot water to get it, get all of it. Goes in the fermenter. Then you add a bit more water. Then you add the sugar. You mix it all up. You come to a total of 23 litres of water. And you stir in the yeast, and then you leave it sit for a week. I'll put a link in. I've got quite a few clips on how to do a lot of this stuff. Got an alcohol making playlist, so I'll put a link to that list in this video. Just a bag of dextrose. For those who, it's just like a really fine sugar. So I don't mind occasionally to throw a bit of bread scraps out for the chickens. But lately, we've been joined by Australian magpies. I was hoping one would sing, because they do have a beautiful song. But I guess they're a little bit busy eating, in fact, gourmet, homemade garlic and olive sourdough bread. Cheeky birds, they tame really quickly. They come right up and sit on the gate right in front of me. I'm just about at the stage where they're being hand-fed now. These are juveniles, these two. Reminded, these magpies are an Australian bird. You sort of forget, you just think everyone's got magpies, but apparently not. But they are a very clever bird, so they've learnt very quickly. If they come and sit on the gate here and yell at Mum, she'll come out and give them something to eat. The chooks don't like it too much. They don't like sharing their breadcrumbs. Aren't they funny? There's one of our cheeky water dragons. That one is a little female. The males have quite a red chest. I'd say she's been out eating the bird seed that I leave out over there. Fairly tame, considering you've got both chickens over there. And Bertha's a big chook, as you all know. She'll get a spook and run in a minute, which will spook me as well. Try and show you her front on. See the spines on the back of her head? What a nice little thing, isn't she? Well, I guess she's not all that little. She is compared to the boys, but she'd be probably, well, she's over 12 inches long. Probably about 18 inches long, I'd say. We get quite a lot of them. Pressure canner has turned up in the interim with some jars. What I really like is the instructions book is an absolute ripper. It goes through all sorts of how to use it as a pressure cooker with recipes, how to use it as a pressure canner with recipes. It's really great, so I'll do a separate video on that. For those of you who are newly subscribed to the channel, and I have had quite a few new subscribers, thanks very much for that, folks. I'm not sure how other channels go, but feel free to ask any questions you want. If you wonder, how does that work, Andy? Feel free to slip me a question in the comments below. I answer everyone. So it's no drama. And I hope you all stay safe. Appears to me the world's restrictions are finally starting to lighten up. That's okay, that's good. But you stay safe, and thanks for watching, and have a great one, eh? Hooroo.